All right, we officially launched, and it happened a little bit quicker than I was anticipating, but I was just too excited. And after a very long phone call I had with my friend Drew over on Talos of Tech or EV, I'm sure you guys know who I'm talking about. Anyway, after talking with him and getting all, I was just like, I'm pulling the trigger. We're doing this. So thanks, Drew, for helping me out on some stuff on the back end here. And now that the explanations of stuff is all done, this is now going to be today, right now. This episode is going to be put out same day, same everything, just so I can show you how quick I can try to get these things turned around, hopefully. And so with that, thank you for everybody who's supporting. Links in the description if you want to follow me on these socials for this account here, where I will do further deep dives, more things in the moment, and I can engage with you guys a little bit more directly and proactively. And I'll also be in the comments, but okay, enough of that. What I wanted to do right now is actually talk about something that happened today while I was on this lovely phone call with dear friend. So we're going to get over to that right now. Continuity camera here, for whatever reason, wants to always open this window right behind me instead of I want it right here, but it is what it is. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about, as you can see, subject right now, as is in the video title, we are talking about the TikTok ban. It is official. The president signed it into law today. And as the New York Times is saying it, now comes the hard part. But I'm going to tell you what the real hard part here is. It's all the users who are still actively using this platform and don't want to let it go. A bill that would force the sale of TikTok by its Chinese owner, ByteDance, or ban it outright, was passed by the Senate on Tuesday, yesterday, and signed into law today by the President of these United States. ByteDance has to sell within 270 days, or about 9 months, or they're supposed to get banned outright from the store and from all us US citizens who's at risk of losing their privacy from the Chinese government, because we have privacy here with our US apps that we have, right? Facebook, right? Google. And of course, naturally, TikTok is going to challenge this law, obviously. But anyway, the point of all this, according to the government, is that they are protecting our privacy, our rights from foreigners' interference. Here's the thing, and here's why it's going to get complicated and why I don't actually support this move. Content creators of all calibers use this platform, and US-based companies aren't allowed to get too big out of fear of monopolizing a certain sector of something. But all that gets thrown out the window when it comes to a foreign company being involved in such a high level presence like a TikTok, because everybody uses it. And the government doesn't like the fact that the Chinese government has access to all our data and all our information. No. Not when the US government can have all that juicy data for themselves. Which, by the way, over this past weekend, they also passed a law that would further extend the right to illegally listen into our conversations, wiretapping, all the things that like the Patriot Act was supposed to like be about. The secret is, if the government law is that of something that's like patriotism, chances are it's not a good law, as shown by Edward Snowden. Anyway, so now we have to get TikTok as a US based platform, or it's just going to go away because the government doesn't want anybody else to have that information on us, not when they can have it. Not to be political about this, but just saying that I used to work for the government and it was banned or heavily encouraged not to use it back in like 2019, 2020. They said, don't do it, don't use it. This has been building up for years now. But it's all really genuinely just a facade. All that the US government wants is for them to have access to our information, because obviously going through Meta or Google isn't good enough. Not when you have TikTok as one of the most popular apps out there and we can't control it. Oh, no, not good enough. I don't use the platform personally. I don't really care for it, but that's because for addiction issues, I don't need one more thing to get stuck into it. But I would encourage anybody not to use the app just mainly because it's very addictive, but that's like the point. That's the point. And then you got ads that run on those things. And the younger generation, that's what they use. The Gen Zers and Gen Alpha, Alpha, whatever, however that's terminology is there now, that, that they're going to have that, and then something new. Something always has to replace the last thing. It was Facebook, but before Facebook it was MySpace. You had MySpace, Facebook then goes to Instagram, and then Instagram is then moved more to people. Younger kids were using Snapchat, and then TikTok. They like that short form content, and it wasn't enough for Google on YouTube Shorts to copy it, or Meta for Instagram Reels to copy it. We all have to target the source, TikTok. And the government just can't intervene like that because they don't own it. So now they're trying to force this ban to happen. I have like a First Amendment thing about this that I don't agree with. And that's just my personal take on that I feel like anybody should be able to do or use whatever they want. You're not free from the consequences of said thing, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't have access to it. What's going to happen? Let's entertain that scenario for a second. TikTok gets banned. What happens next? People are just, it's going to, what the government wants and what these big companies actually wants for you then to funnel all those wandering eyes to YouTube, to Instagram, to Snapchat, or whatever might come next. And then it's all more user data because we are the product. Anything that's free is not free. If something is promoted as free, you're the product. I don't really know how this is going to play out. Is it actually going to go through? If I was a betting man, I would probably say it's going to have to get sold. Like, they'll try to sell it. But it looks like TikTok is not going to go down without a fight, obviously. And I wouldn't be surprised if they stand their ground on this and just let the app die. And maybe they'll make a new app, a different app, something that's not TikTok. So then it's not banned. And then with all that algorithm juicy goodiness, you all are going to be able to sink your teeth into this next thing. And then it'll be just as bad. And people will forget about TikTok the way we forgot about Vine. Wow. Side note, did you know that Elon was asking, should I bring back Vine on Twitter, now X? Which is kind of weird because Vine, like, if we care about, brand recognition, Vine should just not be Vine anymore, right? Just like Twitter's not Twitter anymore, right? Anyway, we'll see how this plays out. Let me know what you guys think. You're new here. I know you're new here because this is the first, real episode. So drop a like and subscribe and all that stuff. I'm only going to push the subscription thing until I get to the monetization factor of it. And then once we're there, I'm not going to really push it that hard. But, new channel, up and coming, going to get started. So if you want to be with me while we at least follow this part of all this juicy drama, you know where to find me. I'll see you guys later. Take care.